when you are looking at Burkina Faso, it's no longer a Sahelian project. It is now an African project because Africans have had enough. Africans are tired. You cannot keep taking our natural resources and tell us that the highest royalty paid to any nation in Africa on their natural resources is 5%. 5% royalty. How did I know? The former president of Gambia, Yahya Jammeh, was kicked out of office by the West because he said, I am not taking 5% royalty on the natural resources that are in the land of my fathers. They say, why? He said, how can you give me 5% royalty? Are we not supposed to have an agreement on how this is done? Are you not supposed to come into partnership and tell me what you bring to the table? I'll tell you, okay, I own this, you take this, I take that. No, you don't have that right if you're in Africa. They told him, Mr. President, you should be happy because the 5% we're offering you, there are only 3 countries in Africa that have up to 5%. The rest are lower. So Garland, we have less, which is why the president, the wife of the president of Sierra Leone, sitting president, was complaining. She just complained recently. The video went viral, and she was saying to everyone that, listen, we are given 0.0001% royalty on the gold. You know, Sierra Leone is a gold coast. It's a gold coast. But if you visit Sierra Leone today, it's like a shithole. Pardon my language. Sierra Leone is a shadow. It's not even, you can't even find where to put your feet. So backward, so messed up, so devastated economically. But if you imagine if the gold in that country was being nationalized the way Ibrahim Traore is nationalizing the wealth of his country right now, everybody from Sierra Leone would have been living so big, you won't see any one of them going to queue for visas to travel anywhere. This is what is happening to countries in Africa, and this is why every African diasporan must pay attention and must back what is happening in the Sahel, because if we can consolidate and hold down what has happened in Sahel, many more victories will roll in. If we let them touch any one of those guys, we are done. Psychologically, they will weaken us, and you won't see any revolution anywhere again. But thank God for the gift of Russia in times like this. I believe that the rivalry, or not even the rivalry, the animosity between Russia and the West was created by heaven so that we can have our freedom. So that's why today it is not easy for them to take him out like they would have before. He wouldn't even have lasted 2 years in power. He's been there for more. And so much is happening in Burkina Faso.
You know, I knew when I heard him first say, I didn't know much about him. And then the first thing I read, I was reading it, he said, you know, he was in Russia and they had, it was like an Africa summit, and various African leaders were saying things. And when what he said was, what, they were asking for help and things like that. And what he said was, why are we going around the world begging when we're so rich? And I knew, man, this guy's looking at this thing as something different. He's not looking at it as we're weak and we have to ask everybody for help. And what he recognized the strength of Africa and said, we have to exercise our strength. We are not poor. We are not beggars. And the vision of him, he's a big, strong guy. You know, you look at him, he's a big, strong guy. And he wears his military uniform, you know, the uniform of armed struggle. And the way he talks it's not anger, it's confidence. It's strength. And as soon as you hear him, you say, yeah, that guy, he means business. And he's not weak. He's not begging. He's not asking. He's saying, we have a right to this and we will have it.
Yes.